Okay. So good afternoon everyone. I'm Neha and I'm going to teach you chemistry according to NDA syllabus. And our chemistry part from NDA is very easy, and it covers almost 10% of the syllabus, and around 12 to 13 question comes from chemistry. And questions are very simple, very basic, very easy. You can easily solve all these questions. Now, today we are going to start with acids and bases. Have you studied about acids and bases in previous classes? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So, what is acids and bases? The basic introduction, I'm going to start with the basic introduction. Acids and bases. Am I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Reply in between, okay? So now what is acids? That gives H plus ion in the solution. H plus ion in solution. Understood? What is base? Anyone?
OH minus ion.
OH minus.
Very good. In the solution. Now the second thing is, what is the taste of acids? What is the taste? How does it taste?
Sour.
Yes, very good. Sour in taste, and bases are bitter in taste. That we already know. Acid turns what? Blue litmus red. Blue litmus red. And what about bases?
Red litmus blue.
What about bases?
Red litmus blue.
Blue. Very good. Now, the last thing is acids react with base, and what it forms? Salt and water. And what we call it? We call it neutralization reaction. When strong acid and strong base reacts with each other, it forms what? Salt and water. So these are the characteristics. Means neutralization reaction happens. Neutralization reaction happens in acids also and bases also. So these are the basic characteristics of acids and bases. Now, how do we classify acids and bases? We have to learn classification and strength of acids and bases. So first we will classify acids. First we will classify acids. The basis of classification of acid is what? The first basis will be depending upon the presence of hydrogen and oxygen. One will be what? Oxyacids. Oxyacids. And another will be what? Hydroacids. Now what is oxyacids? What is oxyacids? Anyone?
Contains oxygen.
Any guesses, anyone?
With the oxygen, something.
Yes, where oxygen and hydrogen both will be present. And in case of hydroacid, only hydrogen will be present.
Hydrogen will
Can I
be
have some
present.
examples of hydroacids? HCl. Is it? HCl.
Yes, ma'am.
Then any other example of hydroacids? HF.
H2SO4.
H2SO4 will be for oxyacids.
Okay.
Because oxygen is there. We cannot keep it in hydroacids. Understood? Any doubt?
No,
Any doubt,
No,
students? Can I have some more example of oxyacids? Yes.
HNO3.
HNO3, very good. HNO3, H2SO4. Whenever oxygen and hydrogen is present, that acid will known as what? Oxyacid. And whenever only hydrogen is present, that will be known as hydroacids. Now, what will happen in exams? In exams, there will be 4 options given, and you have to identify which one is oxy acid. Understood? Which one is oxy acid or which one is hydra acid? You have to identify. So now you are able to identify the difference between oxy acid and hydra acid. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Tell a bit.
Okay.
Now the another basis is strong and weak acid. Now another basis of classification is strong and weak acid. Strong acid and weak acid. Now tell me, what do you understand by the term strength? Strength. Strength means the ability to furnish H plus ion, or in terms of bases it will be OH minus ion. Understood? So now strong acid will dissociate completely. What will happen? It will dissociate completely. What will happen with weak acid?
Partially.
Tell me. Tell me. That will be less
Dissociates partially.
less dissociate. Understood? So these are the strong acid and weak acid. Strong acid will dissociate strongly or completely, rather than weak acid will dissociate less. The less dissociation will be there whenever it is treated with what? It is treated with aqueous solution or any organic solution. Now take an example. If we have taken HCl, HCl is a strong acid. You know that in laboratory, like what is the concentration of acid we are using in laboratory? Do you have any idea? Like how much?
Less concentrated.
Diluted.
How much is? How much concentration is needed for lab? Tell me.
Dilute.
1/100.
65% concentrated. That means in 1 liter of solution, there will be 65% of HCl or H2SO4 or HNO3, and rest will be 35% will be water. We cannot use 100% concentrated acid as it is very, very, very strong. A single drop can cause severe danger. Understood? So we are diluting it and we are using it as a conc acid. Means conc. Conc means concentrated. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So now this is HCl. Now what will happen when we add HCl to the water? What will happen? It gives H plus and Cl minus ion easily. Very quickly you will get H plus and Cl minus ion. But in case of weak acid we have taken CH3COOH. Understood? Now in this case, when we add water to this, very slowly or very small amount of H plus ion will get released. Understood? So this is called weak acid and this is called strong acid. Clear? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now next we have to one more example is there for the weak acid will be formic acid. What's the formula of formic acid?
CH3.
CH3
HCOH.
HCOH. You can write down. This is very important. Formic acid and acetic acid is
Acetic
very
acid.
important. As it is weak acid, HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, all these are strong acids. Now next we have to study basicity of an acid. Basicity of an acid. Basicity of an acid. Now, what is basicity of an acid? Take an example of any acid. Suppose we have taken any acid that deals with basicity of acid. Now, take HCl. Take a small example, HCl. Now, When we say basicity of an acid means the ability of acid to release this H plus ion. Understood? The ability of an acid to release H plus ion in the solution. Now, if I say monobasic acid, monobasic acid, that means what? Monobasic means what? Mono means single.
Single.
Basic means mono means one, and now basic acid means the tendency of acid to remove H plus ion, to release H plus ion, and to acquire means that H plus ion will get attached with OH minus ion in the solution. Now this OH minus ion represents what? Bases.
Bases.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear? So now this is known as what? Monobasic acid. Now monobasic acid, in monobasic acid what will happen? There will be one hydrogen. Now HCl, HF, these are known as what? Monobasic acid, as it contains only one
H.
hydrogen. Clear? Understood? If in the exam the question can be asked, find out the basicity of HCl. Then what will be the basicity of HCl?
1.
What will be the basicity of HCl? That will be one H
One.
plus will be basicity of HCl. Clear?
HCl. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now dibasic acid. What is the first one we studied? The second one is dibasic. We have studied monobasic. Now what is dibasic acid? Tell me.
2H plus means 2H.
What is this? This is H2SO4. Now here we have 2H. Understood? Now it will give 2H plus ion in the solution. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now 2H plus ion will combine with 2OH minus ion in the solution. So now, and it will form what type of salt? It will form two type of salt.
Salt.
So this is what? This is called dibasic.
Dibasic acid.
Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you can ask questions whenever you feel like, whenever you have any confusion, you can ask me directly. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Till now, clear everything?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Two salts.
Tell me, any doubt?
Ma'am, there are two H plus, right?
Yes, there are two H plus because H2S. Yes, there are two H plus.
So it will combine with two bases. Two OH
Actually, what
minus.
happens when we add water to this? Suppose a simple unit we have taken, simple solution we have taken, H2. Then what will happen? It will release what? Water will release H plus and OH minus ion in the solution, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if we balance the reaction, then what will happen? We have to take two molecules of H2O because this H2 means what? 2H plus. When we break it, suppose H2SO4 and we break it, means we have added in the solution, we get 2H plus and SO4 2 minus.
Minus.
Is it clear? Everyone?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now this 2H plus will combine with 2OH minus ion in the solution, and what it will form? It will get neutralized.
Neutralize.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now it's like that. So this is dibasic acid. Can anyone tell me what is tribasic acid?
Three molecules of
There will be
3H plus. 3H plus.
very good. There will be 3H plus. Any example?
3.
Any example?
3.
3BO4. PO4.
H3PO4. Clear? Here we
Yes,
have
ma'am.
3H plus ion and it will form three kinds of salts.
Salt.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt?
No.
Now next thing we have to study about the acidic strength. Now see, whenever we talk about acidic strength, that acidic strength depends upon the various characteristics. That means it will depend upon the it will depend upon the electronegativity of the atom, or it will depend upon the size of the atom. Now, whenever we talk size of the atom, now entire chemistry of an element is directly proportional to size. So when we started learning about the elements, the first concept was size. If we understand the concept of size, then it will be very easy to understand the concept of ionization energy, electronegativity, then electron gain enthalpy. There are so many characteristics that we can easily relate to size. Even oxidation state also we can relate to size. Is it clear? So when we started
Yes,
learning
ma'am.
periodic table, the first concept was what? Atomic size. The trend of
Atomic
atomic
size.
size along the period and down the group. So here also, whenever we talk about the acidic strength, the first concept is size of the atom. So when we know the size of the atom, which one is bigger and which one is smaller, then we can easily relate the acidic strength. Means which acid is more strong, which acid is less stronger than the other. So now, first one is atomic size. Now, how it determines? Now, if we have taken halo acids means what? HCl,
Acid which contain halal.
then HF. We should write like this: HF, HCl, then HBr, HI. Now, tell me which one will be the stronger acid. Tell me which one will be the stronger acid as per the atomic size.
HCl.
HCl, how? How HCl? You have to think. Am I audible to all?
Chlorine.
Atomic size decreases downward, down the group. Le.
Atomic size decreases or increases down the group?
Increases.
Increases, sorry.
Increases.
Sorry.
It decreases along the period. So
Oh,
here what is
HI.
happening? See, what is happening over here? See, HF, the size of fluorine is less. When we see it is like
Yes,
that:
ma'am.
fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine in the group, isn't it? So now size of fluorine will be smaller than chlorine, then size of chlorine will be smaller than bromine, then size of bromine will be smaller than iodine. So iodine will have larger size, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So now what happens? See, this is H, the smaller one atom, and this is iodine. Now, the nucleus of iodine is here. This is the center. And hydrogen will be bonded to which? The outermost shell of the iodine, isn't it? So
Yes.
now the distance between the center to the outermost shell will be larger in case of iodine, but in case of fluorine, this is hydrogen and this is fluorine. So now this is the center and this hydrogen is attached like this. So now the distance between nucleus to the outermost shell is lesser as compared to the iodine.
Yes.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So now this fluorine will hold the hydrogen more tightly as compared to the iodine, because iodine is bulky, it's bigger. So now bigger the atom, then lesser will be tendency to pull the hydrogen. Means it will easily release the hydrogen. So if the size of the atom is bigger, then it can easily release H plus ion. So the acidity will be like this. The strength will be like this. Hi will be stronger, means it will easily release H plus ion, then HBr, then HCl, then HF. Means HF will be stronger. Understood?
Yes,
HF
ma'am.
will be
Strong.
stronger. Then HCl, then HBr, then HF. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now, what is electronegativity? This is very important because in few years it has been asked, like the size, the concept based on the size of the atom. So this is very important. So there will be some other example also, means acid related to sulfur, like SO2 or SO3, which one is more acidic, which one is less acidic, like that. So in that type of question, you don't have to worry. You just see the size. The bigger will be the atom, then it can easily release the H plus ion in the solution. That means the strength of the acid will be higher. The bigger atom will
Can
be
you-
having higher acidic strength. The concept is like that. So you don't need to by heart it, just simply understand the concept, and whatever question comes in the exam, you can easily answer them. Now next is electronegativity. How electronegativity? Electronegativity. Now, when we talk about electronegativity, what is electronegativity? Tendency to pull the electron. Suppose we have taken HCl, now one electron from H and one electron from chlorine. Now in this case, suppose we take HF only, because chlorine is highly electronegative atom. So now one electron from this. Now chlorine is highly electronegative atom. Then in this case, what will happen? The shared field of electron will move towards the chlorine, because chlorine is highly electronegative. It has tendency to pull the electron towards itself. So like that. So whenever higher electronegative atom will be there, then it has tendency to pull the electron towards itself, and hydrogen will be attached with fluorine. So we have some sequence of examples like HF or H2O, then another will be H and H2, or we can write NH3 also. Clear? Now in this case, you can see nitrogen has less electronegativity as compared to oxygen, and means chlorine has high electronegativity, then oxygen has higher electronegativity as compared to nitrogen. Understood? You all know the concept of electronegativity, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear, everyone? Respond. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Respond, otherwise how will I
Okay,
know
ma'am.
if you all are understanding or not? Tell me. There should be some amount of responses also.
They are saying
Now-
yes. They are. Everybody is saying yes.
Okay, sir. So now next is oxyacids. Now oxyacids, we all know oxyacids. We have discussed.
Hydrogen
Oxyacids. Can I
and
have
oxygen.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I have
Yes,
some
right.
ma'am.
examples of oxyacids?
H2SO.
HNO3.
HNO3.
Good. HCl, O2, HClO. Now these are the these are the some examples of oxyacid that contains chlorine. Now here you can see the chlorine. Now in this case, what happens? In this case, we have to find out the acidic strength, and there will be oxidation state concept. Now how it works? The more oxidation state of the central metal will be having more strength of acidic character. Now in this case, what will be the oxidation state of the central metal? Central metal is chlorine. Now when we calculate oxidation state, it will be +7, it will be +5, it will be +3, and it will be +1. Now, more oxidation of the central metal atom will be having higher acidic strength. So it will be like that. Understood? And this is the most important example for any other exam. This oxyacids having higher oxidation state, this is very important. So whenever you have higher, now here we have taken chlorine. Sometimes you will get sulfur also. Sometimes you will get phosphorus also, like H3PO, four type of example. So there also you have to calculate H3PO4. So here also you have to calculate what? You have to calculate oxidation state of the central metal atom. So like that question comes in the exam and you have to attempt it. These questions are very important just to have to understand the concept. So whenever a bulky central metal atom comes, you have to calculate the oxidation state of all the central metal atom, and whichever is having higher oxidation state, that will be having higher state. So now next is properties of acids. Now I think in class 7, I think 8th or 9th, you must have done the experiment of presence of hydrogen gas. How we do the experiment? How we have done that? We have taken zinc with what? HCl. HCl or H2SO4, any strong acid you have to take in a test tube, and then what will happen? You will get ZnCl2 plus H2. Now you have to balance the reaction. Understood? So now in this case, what happens? Zinc is this hydrogen is being displaced by zinc, and we get H2. So now acids are being used in preparation of hydrogen gas. So in that experiment, we tested hydrogen with the presence of one burning candle we keep near the mouth of the test tube where they're coming, and then pop sound we hear. So that was the test for the presence of hydrogen. So now with the help of acid, we prepare what? We prepare hydrogen gas. So acid is being used in preparation of hydrogen gas. It shows displacement also. Now next is so preparation of, it can be used in, it can react with carbonates and bicarbonates also. Now CaCO3, calcium carbonate, is being treated with H2SO4, and what we will get? CaSO4 plus CaSO4 plus CO2, and another thing will be H2, like that. So whenever calcium carbonate is being treated with H2SO4, we get calcium sulfate, CaSO4, CO2, and H2. So acids reacts with bicarbonates and carbonates also. So these are the properties. And aqueous solution of acids conduct electricity. That means why it conducts electricity? Why aqueous solution of acids conducts electricity? Anyone?
Because it has free ions.
Very good, because it contains free ions like H plus ions in the solution. And for conduction of electricity, we require ions in the solution. Good.
Ma'am, bicarbonates and ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, acid reacts with bicarbonate and which one was the second?
And carbonate also. Like carbonates, we have taken CaCO3. This is the example of carbonate. Bicarbonate, we can take CaHCO2, like that. We can take the example, and in that also we can get a sulfate plus CO2 plus H2. So carbon dioxide and water we will get. So in lab also we use this reaction to test the presence of carbon dioxide gas, and that converts lime water milky. You have seen the experiment, right, in 11th or 12th?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what is organic acid? Organic acid.
Carbon and hydrogen. Compounds with carbon and hydrogen.
That is organic compound. We are talking about that. You're right, but I'm talking about the acid. You're giving definition of organic compound. The compound which contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen is known as organic compound. Obviously, acids are also organic compounds. So there will be carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen only. So organic acids that comes from the organic sources like fruits, vegetables, like that. So now we have tomatoes also. Tomatoes also contains acid. Lemon also contains acid, citric acid, and then the fruits also contains acid. these acids are called organic acids, which come from the organic sources. Now there is one more term, which is mineral acid. Mineral acid. What is mineral acid?
Ma'am, is it the division of organic acid?
Sorry.
Is it ma'am, is it the division for organic acid, mineral acid, or just another topic?
No. Actually, organic acid. See, as we are discussing acid and bases. So in that there is a term of organic acid. So sometime in exam it can be asked, like there will be 4 options and you have to identify the organic acids. So whatever acids are directly coming from the source of fruits and vegetables, that will be organic acids. Understood? So HCl and all, whenever strong acids are there, no, like HCl or H2SO4 or HNO3, that does not belong to organic acids. Only mild acids will get, like citric acid or formic acid. You know, formic acid is present in ant sting, the antenna on the ants. That it contains formic acid. So it always advisable whenever ant bite is there, no, it irritates in our skin. So it's always advisable whenever ant bites, you have to apply some amount of soap. Then in that case, what happens? Acid is there, that formic acid is there, and when we apply soap, soap is basic in nature, so there will be neutralization, and then the irritation and everything goes out, and there will be neutralization, acid-base neutralization happens. So like that. So formic acid comes from ant sting. So you have to. So in exam, basically these type of questions can be asked. You have to identify the organic acids. Understood? Any other doubt?
No, ma'am.
Understood. Now you're clear, no, why we are learning organic acids.
Yes, ma'am. Clear, ma'am.
So now here I'm discussing this mineral acid. What happens in mineral acids? You already know a few acids, but when we talk about mineral acids, you will get confused. Oh my God, what is this? We haven't studied mineral acids. It's a new term. No, but you already have studied HCl. This is mineral acid. Why it is called mineral acid? That we have to learn. Now, whenever we dissolve HCl, dissolve HCl in water, what happens? It releases H plus and Cl minus. Like whatever acids or whatever acids we have taken, and that will be completely dissolved in water. That is known as mineral acid. Understood? So so mineral acid will be those acids which dissolves in water in aqueous solution completely, will dissociate in water completely. That will be known as mineral acid. Now I think in 2014 one question came in the MBA exam. The question was, which one is the mineral acid? Now the options are, I think, tartaric acid. Let me check. I have written the question. Yeah, it was the first option was citric acid. Citric acid. Write down the question. So the question was, which one is the mineral acid? Which one is the mineral acid? Question was, which one is the mineral acid? The second one was hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid. The third option was formic acid. And the fifth option was tartaric acid. Now, which one is the mineral acid? Now you can answer it. Tell me, which one is the mineral acid?
Hydrochloric acid.
Hydrochloric acid.
Understood. Now, to answer this, because citric acid, you already know all these acids does not contain H plus ion. So only hydrochloric acid contains H plus ion and it will be dissociated in water completely. So this is known as mineral acids. So like that, if you want, I can give the formula of other. You want the formula of citric acid, ascorbic acid, and tartaric
Yes,
acid?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, write down C6H8O7 for citric acid, then C6H7O6 for ascorbic acid, and C4H6O6 for tartaric acid. Clear? Sometimes questions can be repeated in the exam, but if you know the concept, then nothing is difficult.
Ma'am, third one is abscisic acid.
Sorry?
Ascorbic acid.
Ma'am, third option.
Third option is ascorbic acid. ASCORBIC. Ascorbic. Shall I rub it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now there are some uses of acids that you can refer the material. There will be uses are written over there, so you can read it. Nothing is there to explain. Now come to the bases. Yeah, bases. We have already discussed the basic characteristics of bases. It liberates OH minus ion in the solution. Bases are bitter in taste. It turns red liquid to blue. Like that, we know the basic. Now come to the classification. Now here also we classify bases in two classes depending upon the degree of dissociation. Degree of dissociation. Now, a strong base and weak base. Strong base and weak base. And what happens? Strong bases that will be complete dissociation. Same thing, complete dissociation. But the only difference is it gives OH minus ion, and acids give what? H plus ion. And it will be less dissociation. Like that. Now there will be some example of strong bases. Can I have the example of strong bases? NaOH.
NaOH.
Then KOH.
KOH.
Very good. Now weak bases will be what? MgOH all twice. Here, like that. We have some more examples. Then calcium. You want me to write some more example of weak bases?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
NaHCO2. So like that, these are strong and weak bases. Now come to the acidity of bases. Same thing, acidity of bases. What will be acidity of bases? Now here we have to find out monoacidic. In acids, what we did, basic acid we learned, and here what we are learning, monoacidic base. Don't get confused.
Yes, ma'am.
Then diacidic base. Third one will be triacidic base. Now, there are tetra and penta acidic bases also, but you don't have to learn that much. Now, for monomeric acid, what will be the example? NaOH, KOH. Simple example. Understood? Why? Because it has one OH ion. Understood? One OH minus ion. Then we can write NH 4 OH also, because it also contains 1 OH ion. Then dibasic acid we have CaOH, Pol2, MgOH. Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Yes, ma'am.
FeOH whole twice. This is the example of tribasic acid because it has 3 OH minus ion. Then we can take another example also, AlOH. Clear? So it has 3 OH. That's why it is triacidic base. It has 2
Base.
OH. That's why it is diacidic base. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we
Yes,
have to learn some concepts. Shall I rub it?
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, these are all strong bases.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt? You ask me?
Ma'am, these are
Anything you
all
are asking?
strong bases.
Strong basis means what? Can you repeat your question, please?
Ma'am, those examples, right? FeOH thrice, AlOH thrice, those are strong bases or weak bases.
Actually, here whenever we divide, whenever we deal with acidity of bases, we are not related to. We are not. These concept is not related to strong or weak. Understood? You don't have to understand like if there will be 3 OH, that means it will be strong base. If there will be 1 OH, that will be. It's not like that. It depending upon the strength, like how easily how easily a base is releasing OH minus ion in the solution. That will describe the strength. But whenever we talk about the acidity of the base, there will be number of OH minus ion on that we will be defining the basicity of an acid or acidity of the base. So it does not relate to any like these two concepts are not interrelated. So don't get confused. Understood? So basically, strength is totally different, and acidity is totally different. These two concepts are totally different. So in exam, what will happen? 4 options will be given, and there will be 4 options that will be containing different amount of OH minus ion, and you have to, if suppose in the question, find out the triacidic base. If it was written, find out the triacidic base, and there will be 4 options, and then you have to find out which of the compound contains 3 OH minus ion, OH ion. Then that will be your answer. Understood? So basically, student gets confused between basicity or acidity. So whenever acidity of base is asked, you have to look the OH minus ion, and whenever acidity asked, you have to look the H plus ion. Basicity of the acid asked, you have to look the H plus ion. Understood?
And Neha, we can take a break 10 minutes. You are sweating too much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We
take-
can take the.
Yeah, I'll mute you. Just you have to go. Don't change any setup. You come back. You go and come back.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, students also can take 10 minutes break and come back.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, great. Again, we are not hearing you. We are not hearing.
Hello.
Yeah, fine, great.
Also, okay. So the next, now we have to deal with concepts of acids and bases. Now, whenever we talk about concepts of acids and bases, we have to learn few concepts. But as per our syllabus, we have to deal with only 2-3 concepts. And these concepts are very important because based on these concepts, question comes. So now the first concept is Arrhenius concept. Now we have already discussed Arrhenius concept. Means acids are the substance that liberates H plus ion in the solution, and bases are the substance that accept H plus ion in the solution. That was as per Arrhenius concept. But there was some limitation of that concept. Why? Because when we have taken the Arrhenius concept was dealing with only acids that contains H plus ion. What about SO2? SO2 is also behaves as an acid, but there is no H plus ion. Then how we will define SO2 as an acid or base, or what is that? So they, after that there were few scientists and they discovered few more concepts, and those concepts was the first well explained concept was given by Bronsted and Lowry concept, and this is very, very important. According to the Bronsted and Lowry concept, Bronsted acids are proton acceptor. Sorry, acids are proton donor, and bases are what? Proton acceptor. Acids are proton donor and bases are proton acceptor. Now, how we can say that? Now we have taken examples with simple HCl, that is simple acid, that is HCl, and when we have treated this HCl with water, then we got what? We got H3O plus Cl minus. Now, here you have to understand this concept properly. Now, here we are going to discuss the concept of conjugate acid and base pair. Now, in NDA exam, it can be asked, you have to identify the conjugate acid base pair. Now, how we make acid and base pair? Now, see, this is HCl, and here we have H. Now, what happens? This Cl releases this H. Now, this H combines with H2O, and it forms H3O plus hydronium ion. This is known as hydronium ion. Now, this Cl will get liberated like this, Cl minus ion. Now, we have to write down the conjugate acid-base pair. Now, this is known as acid, and this is known as what? Base. Now, this is also known as base, and this is known as acid. Now, why it is known as acid? Because this HCl will donate this H plus ion, and it will form and it will release Cl minus ion. That means now here chlorine minus ion will accept H plus ion. So now, as per Bronsted and Lowry concept, acids are proton donor. So now HCl is a proton donor and bases are proton acceptor. Now chlorine minus means chloride ion has tendency to accept proton. That is why bases are proton acceptor and acids are proton donor. So now it is named as acid 1. This will be base 1. Now here also if you see, now here this is known as acid. Why? Because hydronium ion is not stable at all. Hydronium ion exists in liquid state in aqueous solution only, and that is not stable. It can further dissociate, and it can be attached to any other ions which is present in the aqueous solution. So it is not stable. Here chloride ion is also not stable. This is also not stable. So now this H3O plus ion will release one H plus, release one proton, and it will act as an acid. And here this H2O will act as a base because it has tendency to accept one proton. So this is known as acid2. This is known as base 2. Now this will be conjugate acid and base pair, and this will be conjugate acid and base pair. So as per the Bronsted-Lowry concept, acid and bases will be differentiated with only one proton. There will be difference of only one proton, and they form acid and base conjugate pair. Understood or not? Tell me.
Can you explain it once more?
I know it's little bit tricky and some concept is needed. So now I'll explain it once more. You understood till here? Like acids are proton donor and bases are proton acceptor. You all understood?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good. Now we will take few examples. Now here HCl. We'll take few more example also. First we will discuss with this example. Now see, this is HCl. Now HCl has tendency to release H plus ion, isn't it? Now it will release H plus ion, and what this H plus ion will get attached to H2O and it will form H3O plus, and this chlorine ion will be left behind. This will be chloride ion. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what will happen? Now see, this is happening. This was the reaction and it is happening in the aqueous medium. Now water is there. Now here, this HCl donated proton and forms chloride ion. That means as per this concept, acids are proton donor. Clear? Proton donor. Now here, this proton is getting attached to H2 and it forms H3O plus ion. Now in this case, H3O plus ion is acts as what? Now here, this is acid. We can write it acid. This HCl will be acid because it is donating H plus ion. Now this chloride ion will be left behind because now chloride, because here you can see the arrow. It is in equilibrium. Means both the sides of the reactant can interchange each other. Now chloride ion will require, means it has tendency to accept H plus ion. That means as per this concept it will be base. Now when we see these two, here H2 has tendency to accept proton to form hydronium ion. So as per this concept it will be base. And here H3O plus ion has tendency to lose proton because it is not at all stable. It is unstable. Hydronium ion is highly unstable in aqueous solution. So for fraction of second it is getting formed, and in another second it's getting dissociated. So now this is acid because it has a tendency to donate proton and it has tendency to accept proton. Although hydronium ion is not at all stable, but it has tendency to donate proton or it has tendency to accept protons. So now this is known as acid and this is known as base. Now in this reaction we have two acids and two bases. So for identification I am writing acid 1 for this, and this will be for acid 1, the conjugate base will be this, base 1, and for this acid the conjugate base will be this. Understood? So if I ask what is the conjugate base for HCl, then what will be the answer? What is the conjugate base for HCl?
Cl minus.
Cl minus ion. Then what will be the conjugate acid for base? You know that water acts as both acid and
Acid
base.
and base. Yes,
Because
ma'am.
water is amphoteric in
H2O.
nature and its pH value is what? 7.
7.
It is neutral and it acts as an amphoteric. It has both. It can accept H plus ion. It can release OH minus ion. Whatever thing it can do. So water is here. Water in some cases you will see H2 will act as an acid.
Acid.
But here H2 is acts as a base, acting as a base, and hydronium ion will be acid. So this is known as conjugate acid and base pair. Now I am writing one example. Just try on your own. NH3 plus NH3. Now, what will be the conjugate acid and base pair? Tell me. if we react NH3 and NH3 here, can we write like this? Can we write like this? Now this
Yes.
proton will move to this.
H4.
NH4 plus.
Very good. Excellent. NH4 plus, and then what will we get?
NH2 minus.
NH2 minus.
NH2
Minus.
Now try to form conjugate acid and base pair. Now name it. This will be acid. What acid?
1.
1. Very good. This will be base.
1.
This will be what? This will be what?
Base.
2.
Base.
2.
This will be acid.
1. 2.
2. Because it has tendency to, because ammonium ion is not because stable. NH4 ion is not stable. So in this case, it has tendency to release H plus ion as much as possible, and then it will release and it will act as an acid, and NH3 ion will be will accept proton from NH4 ion, and it will behave as a base. So now this is conjugate acid base pair, and this is also conjugate acid and base.
Yes,
Understood?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Easy?
Yes.
Write down this example. Have you written?
Yes,
Everyone?
ma'am. Written.
Good.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
write down one more example for your homework. I'll ask in the next class. HF plus CH3COOH. And you have to find out the conjugate acid base pair. Easy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, next concept is conjugate acid base pair. Now, next is Lewis concept. This question I will ask in the next class. So, Lewis, this is Lewis concept. Now, according to Lewis concept is in that acid is electron pair acceptor. Means acids are electron pair acceptor, and bases are what?
Electron pair donor.
Electron pair donor. In Bronsted-Lowry concept, what was the acids were? Proton donor,
Proton donor.
and bases were proton acceptor. In this case, acids are electron pair acceptor, and bases are electron pair donor.
Donors.
Now, how many of you know the dative bond or coordinate bond?
Don't know.
Yes.
Dative bond and coordinate bond, that is
Coordinate.
like ionic bond, covalent bond, and dative and
Yes.
coordinate bond.
Coordinate.
Now, here we are going to use that concept, dative bond and coordinate bond. What happens in coordinate bond? There will be, suppose NH3 we have taken, NH3. Now, what is the valency of nitrogen? 5, but only 3 is being used. 2 electron will be present over here like this. NH3 is like this. Now, next is we have taken BF3. Boron has how many valence electron? How many valence electron boron has? 2. Atomic number is 2, 3. So what in this case what happens? 3 electron is being used. Now in this case what happens? 3 electron is being used, but still boron is not at all stable. When you count the valence shell electron, it will be 2 plus 4 6 plus 2 6. Only 6 electrons are there in the valence shell after combining with fluorine. Then what BF3 is not at all stable. Then what BF3 will do? BF3 will combine with this NH3, and this lone pair of electron will get transferred to there. It won't get completely transferred, but it is kind of shared. It will be shared with the BF3. Now what will happen? Here we show this bond with the arrow. Means we have to, by seeing the arrow, we are understanding that these two electrons is being given to boron. Understood? So now this type of bond is known as dative bond or coordinate bond. Now, according to this concept, this will be what? BF3 will be what? Acid. And NH3 will be what? Base. Clear? Because BF3 is accepting lone pair of electron and base is giving lone pair of electron. It is donating lone pair of electron. Clear? So this is base and this is acid. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So now
Yes, ma'am.
can we have some more examples?
Ozone.
Next will be H plus and NH. Understood? So this is like that. Then how it will, the bond will get formed? It will be like that. Understood? So it's like that. So this is here also this NH3 is what? NH3 is what?
Base.
Tell me, NH3 is what? Acid to base.
Base.
Base, ma'am.
Base.
Base, acid. As per Lewis concept, what? Acids are proton donor. Acids are acids are proton acceptor. I'm so sorry. This is base. And this is acid. So now after learning all these concepts, now we are able to understand. Now we already know that H plus ions are acidic in nature. So now after learning all this concept, now we can say that acids liberates H plus ion in the solution and bases liberates OH minus ion in the solution. So now whatever example we are taking, every example is being satisfied with the help of all these concepts. So there are some more concepts also like Lux flood concept and so many other concepts, but we don't have to learn all these concepts. Only Bronsted-Lowry, Arrhenius concept and Lewis concept. Three concepts are very important. You have to revise three concepts. Understood? And questions will be very easy. Now next is, now some uses of bases are there. You can refer to your material for this. Now next will be now we have to now there is a formula to identify the strength of acids and base. Acids and base. Now, how we use the formula to identify the strength of acids and bases? There will be equilibrium constant. We use the term equilibrium constant, and through which we identify the strength of acids and bases. Now, the extent of ionization in the solution. Strength is the extent of ionization. How much acids or bases ionize when it forms ions in the solution. So now when for acids, suppose HX will be here X will be any halogen like chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine, etc. So now we have taken HX, then will be H plus and X minus ion, and when we write the equilibrium constant, it will be Ka for A for acid, and it will be written H plus and X minus and so generally question does not come using this formula in NDA exam, because questions will be very basic. Just for knowledge, I have given this formula. If in any other case, if question comes, there will be value will be given for H plus and all these three values will be given. You have to just divide it and you have to identify the K value. If you are getting K value, this is important. If you are getting K value more than 0.1, if you are getting after calculating Ka value, and if you are getting more than 0.1, that means your acid will be strong acid, like HClO4, HCl, HNO3, your acid will be strong acid. Because in exam, name of the acid will not be given. In exam, only values will be given, and you have to put on this formula, and you have to identify whether the given acid is strong acid or weak acid. So by using this formula, if your value is more than 0.1, your acid will be, given acid will be strong acid. If it is less than 0.1, then acid will be weak acid. So it will be, if it is less than 0.1, it will be CH3COOH, acetic acid, or formic acid. Now similarly, same thing happens with bases also. Suppose any base you have taken, BOH base you have taken, B plus OH minus, like that. So now for strength of the bases, you have to find out Kb. It will be B plus OH minus, and then there will be BOH. Here, similarly, values will be given, and if it comes more than 0.1 value, your base will be strong base, and if it comes, the value comes which is lesser than 0.1, that will be your base will be weak base. So, like that. So, now I am going to wind up the class. If you have any doubt related to acid and bases, you can ask me in the next class. So, till here you have understood everything, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Everything
one
is
doubt.
clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Ma'am,
you
excuse me,
now
ma'am.
yes.
Ma'am, if it is more than 0.1, then it is?
In case of both acid and bases, if it is more than 0.1, it means it is strong base. Strong base.
Okay, ma'am.
Or
Okay.
strong acid. And if it is less than 0.1, suppose you have calculated, suppose some value is given, suppose 0.5 into 0.1 into, suppose any value is given, suppose 0.6. If you have calculated all the values and you are getting less than 0.1, that means the given base, we are calculating Kb. So given base will be weak base. And if you are getting more than 0.1, that means your given base will be strong base. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Like that. And every 2-3 classes, after 2-3 classes, we have one previous year question class. In that class, I'll be discussing all the chemistry questions related to previous year. Like last 10 years question, I'll collect and I'll be solving all the questions from the previous year session and section, and you have to bring the doubts in that class, and I'll be discussing all the doubts in that class. So that class will be doubt clearing class for you. Anything you want to ask?
Thank you. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Students, 1 minute. Students, 1 minute. Students, listen here. Tomorrow we will not have class. Tomorrow, because of Bakrid, we will not having class tomorrow. Next class will be on Monday. Do it properly. Don't ask me again when is the class.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Next
sir.
class,
Thank you,
next class
sir.
is on Monday. Next, listen, all of you. Like next class is on Monday. Next class is on Monday.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Great.